All right, guys, welcome back. So let's have a look at Palantir, PLTR. On Friday, when market was making a brand new highs, essentially all-time highs, this stock reversed. A lot of people, including me, I was personally watching if this could break out possibly this resistance from August, and then we were testing it. Many people probably were waiting for the breakout and possibly push higher, but it just flushed back down, essentially wiping out all these people. So essentially, if you take a look at this price action where it did grind its way back up, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trade, essentially like 10 days of a price action to the upside, choppy uptrend was wiped in one single day. This is what it's called. Bulls take the stairs up and bears take the elevator down. That's what they mean. So now what I'm watching from this for this stock. So this is daily chart of Palantir. Let me bring up all of the moving averages that I have. So at the moment we are sitting right at that 50-day moving average. Essentially, stock probably tried to test it, and I personally, on an intraday, I was when it started cracking early on, I was watching the 20-day. So if I bring up, let me remove the 200 so we can see better. First, when it cracked the 5-day moving average, I thought, yeah, probably it will just straight go down to the 20-day and then bounce right back up. But it did flush down. 5-day acted as a resistance, and then it went straight through the 20-day, and it's essentially closed right there. So I thought maybe it could have gone down all the way to 170 on Friday too, but it almost went there, 171. So bounced after market close. Here's what I'm watching going forward from here. So is it a buyable dip? Is it enough of a dip for you? From all-time highs, stock dipping 7%, but year to date stock is up 130%. Okay, still year to date. So if you take a look at it on a weekly chart, especially from the last year, this time around this time in October, September, I believe the stock was included September 16th or 23rd when it started trading in S&P, included in S&P 500. So if you take a look at it, exactly 1 year, 12 months return, stock is up 328%. So for me, more of a buyable dip back is typically the 200-day moving average. But if I'm trading to, an uptrending stock, and I agree with the valuation and all that stuff, sure, I can justify playing along. But this stock is $410 billion company. Okay, so I'm in one of those. I'm at the same camp as everybody else. Where, like, I don't think this stock worth as much as Costco. Let's say Costco trades at $405 billion. ASML is $400 billion. Of course, it rallied crazy too. Home Depot, $393 billion. Bank of America, $375 billion. Procter & Gamble, $350. Of course, it may not look like apples to apples, but you get the point. The fact that it got here, it's so crazy. So if and only if this 50-day cracks, I'm pretty much positive that this stock could pull back towards the 200-day area, which is at the moment 121. So of course it may not be straight shut down, but you can see when weakness happened, like last pullback from 190, it pulled back towards 140 in a matter of like 5-6 trading sessions. Super fast. So I'm not saying that it's going to happen again, but it could happen. It can definitely chop around, crack the 50, and then we have a support right here, which is 150. This is the area I would be watching. And then even if this price level doesn't hold, then I would be watching it to definitely test the 200-day moving average. That's why I'm going to be putting essentially the title of this video, can it go test 120, 125 essentially. So another thing I want to show here is put to call ratio, right? Let's quickly take a look at this one, and then I want to show you guys this, where a lot of PLTR, a lot of unloading was happening for pretty much, okay, Finwiz, I'm not going to be able to show the insider sales, but that's fine. But I want to show you guys these unloads where every time it was pretty much making a new high, large orders were getting dumped in this stock. So I think these were distributions, and distributions can take a while actually. Stock can definitely drift higher. But every time I'm seeing these kind of like orders, they're like $500 million sales. But by looking at the capitalization of the stock, you can say, oh, it's not a lot. Number 4 came in September 19th at 182, $4.5 billion. And I believe this is a profit taking, this is a dumping, this is a distribution. And when price trades below those levels, I turn bearish. So I'm going to be watching so far the 50-day moving average as a support. So if it wants to bounce from here, sure, I'll be watching for some sort of a relief bounce right here and act as a support. But as soon as it cracks, I believe it can go straight down to 150. So 150, this is where it like hovered around, and it was also the 50-day moving uptrending moving average. So far it's above those moving averages, but below the 20-day, below the 5-day. Even if you take a look at the 5-day, it was going sideways for quite a bit, despite the stock trying to push higher. So I think if overall market weakens or maybe tries to pull back, I think these kind of stocks that are trading with extremely high valuation are the ones that will get hit the hardest. They will pull back pretty big. Even if you take a look at the Tesla, like it rallied pretty crazy, and the pullbacks are pretty crazy too, sitting at 20-day moving average. Has much better looking moving averages for sure, due to it consolidating for quite some time. And it can, of course, definitely do go through these kind of stages where it just chops. Let me go back to Palantir itself, where we have seen it right here. Kind of extends itself, comes back down to 50-day moving average, and it just turns into the premium burning mode, and it just spends time just going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's pretty much doing absolutely nothing from one option expiration to another option expiration and killing a lot of premium. So I want to show this premium chart, and then we can just go from there. So we can just wrap from there. But on Friday, yeah, definitely a lot of call selling was happening. If I go back 14 days, let me go 30 days. This level of call selling were not seen since last time, September, when was it? September 17th, I'm seeing pretty large. What happened September 17th? Of course, it did rip pretty higher. It was this dip right there where a lot of calls were sold. And in terms of put activity, let's just go to 14 and 7. Before this drop, yeah, people were buying calls, 180 to 190, not too big of a rally, and then big flush down. So on Friday, I think we had, of course, not crazy, but definitely net put buyers and net call sellers, net premium sellers. So I think this stock, if it doesn't hold the 50-day moving average, it can roll over. But of course, the bullish scenario for me is the only time it breaks. I'm a breakout trader. only time it breaks, it can definitely do something like this, or just flush to 50-day and then rally back up. It can definitely try to rally right back up. So if that happens, sure, I'll be watching again the breakout, possible breakout, and run towards 200. That's the video for Palantir. That's what I'm watching. This is not a buy or sell recommendation, and I don't have any position in this stock, not trading options or stock. So, but yeah, that's the video. Not a buy or sell recommendation. See you in the next one. Take care. Peace.